Space and Rocket Review. Space and Rocket Review. You two girls, tell your friends. Space and Rocket Review. And it's Ladies' Night at the Eric Johnson Space Administration. What's going on, everybody? How are you? Just wait a second here. Oh, crap. I forgot my water. I gotta get water. I'll be right back. Just water it up. Water! Okay, I got the water. What's up? What are you going to do without water? Nothing, because I have it. All right. Crazy that Ship 40 is still afloat. Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. So, there's a lot of different space news that happened over the weekend. What, like from a toilet? No. No. Just space news. All right, so. Okay, I gotta get on the screen. Come on. Come on. Hey. Hey, we're talking about giraffes and their excrement habits. It's pretty hot in these rhinos. Okay, so let's jump into it. Over the weekend, Rocket Lab posted this. Actually, that was, well, this morning. Rocket Lab posted this. It was still technically the weekend because I hadn't woken up at this point in time. So technically, it was still the weekend. All right. Missile defense from wherever it's needed. We're officially headed to Alaska to establish our 4th launch complex to support our largest launch contract yet. $266 million for up to 18 suborbital launches for missile defense with the Space Force's Space Systems Command. So Rocket Lab is building a pad in Kodiak launch site. Where is that at? I'll show you. Yep. That's way up here. I forget exactly where the launch pads are. We don't go up here to Kodiak very often. I totally forget where they are. They're up here somewhere. You prefer Polaroid Island? No. Are there any public access points there? No. There's a road. And where there's a road, there could be launch pads. Oh, man. Hold on. Do you guys mind if I... Come on. Come on. Nope. Nope, no Google Earth. That's probably really pretty. The launch pads are up here somewhere. I don't remember where they are. I'll have to look it up. The Pacific Spaceport. Oh. Oh, I was so close. Yeah, here we go. So Rocket Lab's going to build an Electron pad up here. The Pacific launch site is not very big. That's a Minotaur test pad right there. So ICBMs. And then there's where Space Y took off. That's the pad that Astra was using. I'm going to go ahead and guess it's probably going to be there. Yeah, I'm going to guess that that's probably it. But yeah, there's really not a lot going on up there. I think my backyard is more of a space center than this is. I mean, I almost have a high bay as big as that one. Okay, maybe not that one. And I don't have a vertical integration facility, but whatever. That's the Pacific launch site. So actually, I was super close. Dude, some of these like houses over here. Oh man, look at that one. Must be Burt Reynolds or something. But anyway, that's where Rocket Lab wants to go. So, 266 million for Electron launches out of Kodiak, which is pretty cool. All right, so next bit of news is coming from Dave Limp. He has said that they have finished their D-stack of the vehicle tower, the New Glenn Tower at Complex 36. He says they've taken off a bunch of segments and they're cranes. Twin Launch Complex? I don't know, man. Maybe. Destacking of the vehicle access tower is complete. We removed the top 6 modules to begin integrating fluids and controls as part of our new concept of operations. Yeah, I know, Rares, right? This includes adding cryosystems, pneumatics, and mechanisms. We'll also add in floors for access before we begin restacking. This allows us to work in parallel, keeping with our return to flight timeline. Okay. Huh. Do they take off a section lower than this? I mean, guys, it's interesting because none of this is near the sections that are damaged. The damaged section is behind this crane. In this picture, it makes it look like it's repaired, but it's not. There's just a telescoping crane with a lattice boom attached to it right there. You can still see that the damaged part is down here. Huh. I guess they don't want to take any more of that apart. Well, they did something down there. We'll see, but yeah, that's Complex 36. Repairs continue after the NG4 explosion. Also, Blue Origin News... Blue Origin scored the B2 test stand at Stennis. This is big news. So before, what Blue would do is test their second stage at Complex 36. They wanted to get that... It's a turbo. They wanted to decouple those operations from Complex 36, so they leased the B2 test stand. The B2 test stand is the test stand that's on the right. It's very interesting because in their posts, they say the B test complex. Now will help take us back. Interestingly enough. Now, it's an it's a double cell test stand, and the B1 test stand was originally made for testing Saturn 1 first stage, or Saturn 1C, or S1C Saturn 5 first stages. That's words. Now, as far as I know, Aerojet Rocketdyne uses the B1 test cell for something. They use it for something. Never seen it used. Seriously, I've never seen that test stand used. Ever. The last time I knew that test stand was on was testing in RS-68 for the Delta IV program 30 years ago. I have not seen the B1 test cell used since. But the B2 test cell over here is going to be used for second stage hot fire testing. This over here was originally used for the green run, the SLS full duration test. Now the B platform test stand is very unique because it can support long duration burns. This thing was originally designed for Saturn S1C first stages. So it's a big chunky test stand, and you can support full duration burns on it. That's actually really good for Glenn Stage 2. I really wish whoever is using this test stand, or lack thereof, would, not, and have it so, Blue could put a new Glenn stage over here, GS1 and GS2 right next to each other. But yeah, they leased off the B2 test stand, which was scheduled to... It did the green run for SLS, and it was scheduled to do the green run for the exploration upper stage. That's not happening, so GS2 it is. So at least the stand's going to get some use, which is really nice. And keep in mind, Blue is using it to hot fire test their stages, meaning that the stages, every stage is going to be tested. So that should really put this B1 test stand put it through its paces and do what it was designed to do, which is test stages before they fly into space. That's what we built it for back in the day. That'd be really nice to do that again, but no, we have to put this doo-doo thing up there. Seriously, who owns the B1? Who leases the B1 test stand? I've never seen that damn thing fire. Ever. Look at it. The flame trench is rustier than the one that the green run was in. But either way, NASA and Blue, see, this is coming from Stennis. NASA and Blue announced Friday that they recently agreed to conduct second stage hot fire testing for the company's New Glenn rocket on the B2 test stand at Stennis Space Center near Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. The annex to a reimbursable Space Act agreement signed earlier this month highlights NASA's commitment to work alongside commercial partners toward Artemis missions in 2027 and beyond. That thing will see the first 4 times B3U stage. Yep. Which test stand do they test RS-25s on? All right, we're going to go from Bay St. Louis, from Kodiak to Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. All right, so Stennis is over here. This is the Stennis test site. It's out in the middle of nowhere in Mississippi. It's near Bay St. Louis, but yeah, it's out in the middle of nowhere. Good times. There is some cool stuff that you could see if you drive by on the highway. Yes, it's real. This does complicate GS2 logistics, though. Yeah. So, where do they test shuttle engines? Shuttle engines are tested on the A1 test stand over here. The A2 test stand is relativities. So, there were 2 test stands made here for Saturn V second stages, and then the B test stand over here was made for Saturn V first stages. Here, let me show you. Now, it didn't support the first hot firing. It didn't support the first hot firing of a Saturn 5 first stage. That was test stand 4670 at Marshall. The reason why, and a little bit of Apollo history here, there was no facility to build an S1C, to build a 10-meter core. Michoud was not finished yet. So the first Saturn V qualification article was built at Marshall Space Flight Center, and they built a test stand for it. That's where the first Saturn V first stage was ever lit off. On the 4670 test stand, which ironically Blue does own as well. The Blue uses this for BE4 testing. They put every BE4 gets put up there. Here, let's just go B2 test stand it. There we go. So that's the B2 test stand. There it is with the SLS core stage in it, right? The Infinity Center at Stennis is actually a pretty cool place, and your price of admission includes a bus tour through the Stennis Space Center. And if you're lucky, you could be driving close enough to see one of these facilities to be able to see the test of an engine. Cool. That's pretty neat. Hang on. Trying to see if we can find a picture of it from the Apollo era where they're just teeing up Saturn V first stages in the test stand. It's pretty damn cool, actually. There we go. I found one. There we go. That's what the B2 test stand originally looked like. And that is the B2 firing. It was a twin test stand that could test 2 Saturn V first stages at once, which is pretty cool. Now, I know what people are saying. That test stand looks ridiculously chunky for what it is. It's like I was saying a little bit earlier. It's designed for full duration burns. You could just put a Saturn V first stage on there, 7.5 million pounds of thrust, and send it, and it'll be fine. It would be totally okay. Here, look. Nice. Cool. Now, I don't know if the B1 test cell ever got used for a hot fire. I'm pretty sure they only used the right-hand side for testing, but every single Saturn V that flew was tested there. Question for you, are you doing after hours tonight? Yeah, I probably will. Could it do a 33 engine? I'll bet you it could take a super heavy. Sure, why not? I bet you it could. It's got a pretty hefty flame diverter there. Here, let's try B-1. I don't think the B1 cell has ever fired anything. If somebody can find a picture of a Saturn V or the B1 cell being used for anything other than Delta IV Heavy, I'd be very, very interested. Because, yeah, as far as I can tell, I've never seen that dang thing used. Which is a shame, because it is a full test stand. But, whatevs. Was it originally designed to take Nova? It's actually reconfigurable. You can configure it for whatever the heck you want, Sea Kraken. Yeah, you can put whatever in there. So it's the stand, if you really kind of want to know the logistics behind how this whole thing works, is, all right, you have a big crane, you have a lattice crane up top, and then behind the B2 stand, there's a smaller crane, and whatever you bring in, you bring in on a barge right here. The big crane turns, grabs the top, and the small crane right there grabs the back, and it lifts it up, takes it vertical, and the red and white crane can lift it up and load it into the test cell. That's what they did with the SLS core stage, which is great. Where did they fire the J2X? Marshall. I don't think the J2X was tested here. Yeah, I know about that. I had a photo of them picking one up. It's interesting because in this picture, that's the stool that they were going to put the EUS on to green run it. Thank you, Mutter. Yeah, see, that's when both the cells were open right there. But yeah, dude, it is a hefty, hefty test stand. Look at how clean it is back in the day, man. You know what? I'm just putting this in my Saturn V research folder. That's going into my Saturn V compilation. You mean the box? Yes. It should have had a square hole. Yeah. Oh. So, it'd be cool if it went back to a dual stand complex. But once again, this thing is just completely reconfigurable. You can put whatever you want in here. If you notice, it has these big structures to the side. These are slide out gantries. So you can slide underneath, right? And you could work on the engine section, and then these things move out of the way out here when you're in the firing position, which is, once again, super freaking cool. I mean, I'm pretty sure this one right here, the B1 cell is just never, pretty sure that's never slid out of position. And I'm pretty sure that this might be all fixed. They might have fixed it all in place after, but you found one? Yeah, anything that's not Delta 4 though, I'm pretty sure it says RS-68 test. So yeah, they just used it to test an RS-68. That's the last, dude, right there is the last time I've ever... Wait a minute. Uploads 2023. I don't know. Is it designed by the Army Corps of Engineers? The stand? Yeah, maybe. But these have regeneratively cooled flame ducts too. Like, these things can spray water, the flame diverters, guys. So like it works like Super Heavy's pad. They spray water out, and the flame buckets can actually handle long duration burns. So it's really cool that they got the stand. And it's going to be cool to see it put to use. If you ever get the chance to ask Jared a question again, can you ask him if we'll see the J2X? It's like the Viper of rocket hardware. Guys, you remember how I was reading about the RS-68 and how I'm like, wow, the RS-68 is kind of a pile of dookie? Like, you remember that? Caption for that image. Aerojet Rocketdyne conducts its final RS-68 engine acceptance tests on April 12, 2021 on the B1 test stand. Okay, they used it to test RS-68s. They never, ever showed that stuff. But that's cool that it did get used, at least up until 2021. But anyway, the J2 is okay. 55 thrust to weight ratio, 448 second specific impulse. It's 2.5 tons. It's okay. I mean, it is pretty light for what it is. 92-to-1 expansion ratio, but 55 TWR is... it's okay. It's all right. Let's see. So J2 testing was done on, that's the A2 test stand. So the J2 testing was done right here. NASA no longer owns that, or NASA leased that test stand to Relativity. Relativity is going to test their stages there. Relativity, I do believe, also has a 2-engine test stand over here that was built more or less recently. A1 test stand is still used for RS-25s, so the RS-25E. And then I wonder what that is. Anyway. And then over here is the A3 test stand. That's where the J2X was going to be tested. That is a vacuum. It was supposed to be the largest vacuum optimized test stand in the world. That's where they were going to do J2X vacuum testing. Constellation program got canceled. Contractors sued NASA for breach of contract, and NASA ended up having to pay out the contract to finish the test stand. And the test stand was finished in 2014, 3 years after, or no, well, yeah, basically 3 years after Constellation got canceled. How do the test stands get the water? Rocket Lab has the lease on the A3 test stand. What do you mean? How do they get water? Pipes? The pipes is the answer to that. The B1 test position was configured for the first stage of the Saturn V rocket, but was never utilized. In the late 1980s, the B1 position was modified for single-engine testing for the Space Shuttle main engine program. In the 1990s, the B1 position was modified to test the RS-68, which concluded in 2023. Thank you, Mutter. Water is piped in. They're not using this. This is brackish water. It's not fresh water. It's brackish. So yeah, they have water pumped in. Probably from here or something. But yeah, that's Stennis, man. All of Stennis was built for the Apollo program, including the locks here and the bargeways to get to the different test stands. It's cool because all the different test stands could carry barges that could fuel up. These are fueling terminals to fuel up the rocket engine. Each test stand has its own kind of areas for loading up liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen, for instance. That's what those tanks are, for what it's worth. They really had a pretty damn good plan with the Apollo program. I must say, it's pretty smart. Pretty smart. They could bring the stages in. You can load up fuel right here, or you can load up fuel at the test stands. Right? This was all dug out. And they used the dugout to put fill down right here. And yeah, dude. That's the fueling cell for the B2 for the A2 test stand right there. So right there and right there, you could bring the barges in, fuel the test stand up, and then bring your stage in, fuel that thing up, and go. How do you keep a vacuum when firing an engine that size? So, long story short, it's a giant carburetor. A Venturi, John. So, the rocket engine, when it fires, it's going to create a vacuum. It's going to pull all the air down. What is it, the Magnus effect? Or no, it could be Coanda. I forget. So basically, it's going to generate a vacuum. If you constrict where it's pulling air from, it'll make a vacuum. It'll make low pressure where the rocket engine is firing. Yeah, you basically use the rocket as a gigantic venturi. That's what this thing is. And then there's the exit right there. The cool thing about this was that it recirculated with the air. It recirculated the exhaust air. It has basically air conditioners built into the exhaust, so the exhaust that came out wasn't a big deal. I'm not entirely sure if they, yeah. Test firing 1002 on the A2 test stand for 6 tests. Engine 1002 moved to test stand A1 for 7 further tests. Final testing in 1002. Testing in 1003 begins, and that was the end of that. They did test them, though. Yeah, sure, methane. There you go. Yeah, Bernoulli's principle would be a right way to say it, sure. Hey, EJ, you'll thank me later. Could you'll thank me later make it to the Indian Ocean to pick up ship 40? I don't think it would make it in time, dude. The waves are battering the ship. It's going to eventually break it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I thought the J2X was heavier. It's actually not too bad. Not too bad for an upper stage engine, given the thrust. It's okay. I still think it would have been a good idea to use this with Ares 1. If we made Ares 1, we really wouldn't have the problems that we have right now. Yeah. But it didn't happen that way. Would have been nice to have Ares 1 and Ares 5, though. Yeah, the J2X was built for the upper stage for Ares 1, and then it was built as the third stage for Ares 5, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Ares 5 would have been great. That would have been a great launch vehicle. But I don't know if you guys heard this, and I'll talk more about it when we end up doing the Starship recap in a little bit. Did you guys hear that SpaceX could carry SpaceX could carry 60 Starlink V3s, not minis. They'll carry 60 Starlink V3s on operational Starship Starlink flights. You heard that, right? That's 112 tons of satellite. Think about it. We know that 20 satellites are give or take about 40 tons. 37.5, I think, is what they said technically for 20 dumb links, right? And we have to assume that the dumb links were the same mass as an operational satellite, or else why would you test stuff that way, right? So if 20 of these satellites are give or take about 40 tons, that means 100 of them are closer to 120 tons, which means that Starship V3 could potentially have over 100-ton payload capacity. Not potentially, it does. It has over 100 tons to low Earth orbit payload capacity. Think about that for a second. That's almost Saturn V level with full reuse. That's right. You'll believe it when you see it. No, but with all due respect, and I mean this with all due respect, this is not the time to doubt. I mean, did you see how much extra fuel that thing dumped off before on its suborbital trajectory? Like, dude, it'll do it. Like, this is not, it's not the, oh, well, I'll believe it when I see it. No, dude, like, that's a thing. Like, the physics don't lie. Yeah, dude, the physics don't lie, man. Anyway, so Blue got the test in, and that's cool. All right, what's this next bit of news? Would the moon be more if no heat shield? Moni, would HLS Starship be more? Yeah, possible. All right, we got something from Amazon Leho. Following our agreement to acquire Globestar, we filed with the FCC to deploy Amazon Leo D2D systems, up to 5,105 new satellites that will bring voice, data, messaging, and emergency services directly to compatible mobile devices. The new system is a core part of our long-term vision for Amazon Leo, bringing high-speed connectivity to more people in more places around the world. You think we could fit 10 semis? I don't know. You could then refill the ship and send 100 metric tons literally anywhere in the solar system. Yep. Did you see the weird Starship test article that moved into Mega Bay 2 a bit ago? The nose cone, Alex. I haven't talked about it on stream, but I've seen it. $5,100 new satellites. It looks like Amazon wants to do the direct to sell service as well to compete with Starlink. Oh my goodness. Did you see what I just saw? La 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 la. La 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 la. Dude, who designed this? Come on. Come on. Tra la 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 la. La 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 la. La. I'm sorry. But also, bro. Look at my Raffle constellation. La 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 la. It's just all right. Well, interesting that they got the FCC granted them granted them a license to deploy the Leo D2D system, which is 5,100 new satellites on top of what they're already trying to deploy, which is hard for them to try and deploy because they don't have a rocket that's going to do it. Well, that's not entirely true, but yeah. EA Sports. It's in the game. It's in the game. LEO. Sorry. All right. EA. Moving on. Next news. Okay, so this is coming from United Launch Alliance. Earlier today, ULA teams rolled out Vulcan out of the newly commissioned VIF-A, Vehicle Integration Facility, Amazon, dedicated to Amazon EA Sports. It's in the game launches. To the launch pad for several days of functional checkouts of the vehicle and ground systems. Cool. All right. So we have a Vulcan out on the pad. Note that its solid rocket boosters, the things that keep breaking are conspicuously absent. Belt, leather belt, belt. Yeah, you guys are just as fried as I am, all right? Game recognized game. I'm laughing for real right now. Question mark, exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point. Ha ha ha. Fried my vans. Yep. Do you think they have sorted the engine issue? Chris, I have a theory about what happened with Vulcan. And my theory is that they knew the SRBs would blow up and sent it anyway. Yep. That's my theory. It is just a theory. I cannot prove that. What I can prove is that SRBs take a long time to make. They have to sit there. You have to fill them up like silly putty. Like, it's like you're filling up a cup full of Play-Doh, and then you have to let it sit there and you have to let it cure like concrete. So they take a little bit of time to make, right? Similar to fairings. Fairings are a long lead item, right? So if ULA and, Northrop Grumman launched these things, right? And they launched them on missions that they knew. I mean, obviously they launched it had a problem. And they said they did a qualification test and it fixed it, right? And then they launched more and those had the same exact problem. They had burned through in the same spot. That tells me that those ones that were launched on that Cert 2 mission were left over. And they weren't part of the new batches of SRBs that were made with the qual test article, that the qual test article validated. They were probably left over. The reason why? Northrop Grumman can make the SRBs fast enough. So they probably put them on missions where they were confident of the outcome no matter what happened with the SRB. You don't think it's some weird coincidence that all the missions that Vulcan had SRB failure on just happened to make it? Because they were all very low, they were low Delta V missions with really light payload and a lot of rocket behind it? Just a theory. What do I know? I make crane parts for the American working Kerbal because that's what I am and that's who I care about. So they probably most likely knew that the grain could potentially have that problem, but they put those SRVs on low-risk missions. That proved to be, I will say that was a really dumb thing to do because Vulcan almost crashed. It almost blew up. It was close. When it was spinning out of control and doing barrel rolls on the way up into space. Yeah, that was close to blowing up. You probably shouldn't do that again. But that's just my personal theory. I can't prove that. I'm not suicidal. Cool. But ULA did get their second vehicle integration facility up and running. They are on the hook for 38 Leo launches. Amazon Leo launches. So we'll see. I would like that. We'll see. Cool that they're getting ready to go, but yeah, they gotta, you got your work cut out for you, man. That was a big risk with the DoD payload. Yeah. There were some people. Let's just say that after that mission, there were some people at the 30th Space Wing that were a little pissed. Yeah, a little pissed off, to say the least. They did it for the looks. They did it for something. Yeah, Chris, a little bit. I don't know, the prop time it takes to cure, but nozzles? Well, Ethan, there's this whole problem that the nozzle is attached. It's a single casing SRB with a fixed nozzle. There's no thrust vector control on these GEM 63XLs. That's what the BE4s are for. So the nozzle itself doesn't take that much time to make. The problem is the nozzle is basically welded to the rest of the casing. I mean, it's not welded, but yeah, not great. But here's another thing to consider. Guys, before you say, well, that's just dumb, why would they do that? You can remove the nozzle. I mean, the SRB had no problem doing it. You can remove them, but I suppose I should clarify what I mean by this. Look, just because the nozzle fails doesn't mean the nozzle's a bad design. If the nozzle was the problem, they could just swap nozzles. No big deal. Nozzle is a detachable component. The casing is not, right? You could just put a new one on, right? You could cut it off, put a new one on if you wanted to. Whatever it is that's wrong with those GEM 63XLs might not be the nozzle. It could be the propellant. It's possible. If it was just the nozzle, why would they go qualify an entire new booster, right? Why would they put a new booster out on the test stand and qualify the whole dang flight regime if it was just the nozzle that had an issue?
Discovery.
Stuff to think about. But good question, nonetheless. Hey, C-Mac, what's up, dude? All right, next bit of news. So this was on Friday. NASA posted this. NASA Marshall. So Marshall Space Flight Center posted this. Stick an O-ring in her. Nah, they tried that once. So now, after NASA announced that Artemis 3 would be a low Earth orbit mission, the teams at NASA at Marshall began building a spacer that would take place of the interim cryogenic propulsion stage. Now the final friction stir weld is complete on the barrel, and inspections are underway. Ah, Craftsman Professional. All right, let's go. So this is a vertical friction stir welder that NASA looked like they quite literally put together that and its jig out of spare parts, which is fine. To make the one-off piece for the Artemis 3 spacer. Yeah, non-billet Aqualux. Check that out. Straight up planed aluminum. Are we just going to sit here and pretend like this panel is an upside down? Seriously, look at the grain. On every other one of these panels, the grain goes up and to the right. See? Up and to the right. 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 That panel's upside down. It doesn't matter. But also, frick the person that did that. You suck. You really suck. It doesn't make a difference, dude. It really doesn't. But also, the panel's upside down. Just saying. I wouldn't do that. But I can't stress it. I can't stress it enough. It does not make a difference, dudes. It absolutely does not make a difference at all, in any way, shape, or form. Aluminum is aluminum. It's fine. This is just leftover marks from the manufacturing process, from making the panel. It's just that one is just upside down. I don't know why that happened. We don't know. We don't want to know. Makes sense. They wouldn't mill an isogrid. That takes time, and they actually need the mass. They need the mass? Question? Yeah, so Artemis 3 is just going to have a spacer. It's just going to have a spacer where the ICPS hydrogen tank is, because it's not going to go beyond low Earth orbit. The Artemis 3 mission is going to launch an Orion capsule on top of SLS. Remember that whole Ares 1 thing that I said we should have, that it would make things a lot easier? Yep. Artemis 3 is going to launch an entire SLS rocket just to get Orion into low Earth orbit. And what they're going to do from there is the Orion will do a 2-week duration mission up in space, including rendezvousing with SpaceX's HLS lander mock-up and Blue Origin's Blue Moon lander mock-up. Ares 1 would be very nice right about now. So doesn't that make SLS an SSTO? I mean, look, spoiled. All I'm saying is that if we took the SLS core stage, right, just put a crew tank on the front, right? We put a crew tank on the top of it. And, you know, instead of the RS-25s, you put something that's restartable down there, like J2s or Raptor engines. You could pretty much put a Super Heavy into space with a good amount of fuel left over. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Did you see the leaked interior? I did, Ari, but I'm not showing it on stream. I have pretty good rapport with SpaceX, or at least I'd like to think. I'm not showing that, dude. It's out there, but I'm not showing it. And yes, they will get mad at you. I asked. You know, just before you go and ask questions. Yeah, somebody was not supposed to do that. Yeah, that was a really dumb thing to do. You shouldn't have done that. They would have to put weights in very particular spots, correct? Like a tire? Wouldn't the lack of mass in some locations throw SLS off? No. Why? Well, Crafty, here's the thing. You know, X is under the same umbrella as SpaceX, SpaceX AI, Tesla, etc., etc. Posting leaks from SpaceX on a platform that's owned by Elon Musk does not seem like the smartest thing to do, and you probably shouldn't do it. Sounds like someone's getting fired. Someone is getting fired, Geek. I can very much confirm that. Don't post leaks. That's a good way to lose your job. Geek, I know people at this point. I know people. All right, people like me. I'm sexy. People like me. I don't know why. I'm just here. I know people that know people. No, I'm not trying to flex to sound like an idiot, guys. So here's what happened. Somebody posted a video of a guy taking a video from a cell phone inside of some HLS mock-up. Something. And it's funny because there's signs all over the wall that says no photography. And somebody thought that'd be a good idea to post that to the internet, and they got in a ton of trouble. So I'm just going to go out and say this. Do not post leaked stuff. People will get very mad at you if you do. But it didn't say no filming, so yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Video isn't photography. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe they can like go post it to Blue Sky or something. No, don't post leaks, guys. Don't do that. It's lame. They will get mad at you. Yeah. I don't do that. I don't do that crap. Like I know I'm smart enough to know what not to post and what to show you guys and what not to show you guys. You know what I mean? I've survived a very long time in this industry by being very careful about that. I am a very careful man. Unlike you, chat. You are not careful. A man provides for his family. A man provides, Walt. Yeah, I know, Raps. Yeah. Here's a leak. How could you? Above all, discretion. No, yeah, there was something out there. Like, it's not really anything. To be honest, guys, video isn't anything we haven't seen from SpaceX's renders. If you want to look at SpaceX's renders of HLS, yeah. Well, at least we could take solace in the fact that the HLS renders are pretty damn spot on from what we've seen. So, just go look for the HLS renders. You don't get in trouble. It's exactly what you should see. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that anymore. Don't post links. That's dumb. Really stupid. You can get in a lot of trouble doing that. How long until SpaceX uses that metallic thermal protection system? All right, next bit of news. It's coming, one man. Now that I can tell you. Soon. Soon. For HLS stuff. Now that, we'll talk about this more with Flight 13. I had it confirmed publicly to me that that's coming down the road. Sooner rather than later. And that wasn't anything out of my suspicion. I've said on Flame Trench many times, it's not like they're not working on it. It's just, it's inside. There's this whole big thing in Texas here. Like if we go on Google Earth, we go down to Texas. Hey, Atlanta. See this whole big building right here? And, there's windows on the front here, but we've never seen what goes on back there. And also the Gigabay. We don't know what goes on back there. There's an HLS mock-up in there somewhere. I will tell you that right now. How do I know? Well, the clock is ticking. It's in there somewhere, and we'll see it eventually. There's a party in the back? All right. Business up front, party in the back, boy. It's around somewhere. Like, see this whole big building? It's in there somewhere, dude. Tell you that right now. Oh, boy. Look at all the Cybertrucks. Oh, boy, you fudgicle. Like the backside of Skunkworks. Yeah. Edmana, do we know what's going on there? No. Do we know? No. We don't want to know. Okay? We don't want to know. Because if we knew, we wouldn't be talking about it here. Boom. So HLS is coming in the future. Here. Next thing. Your Leo take. Oh boy. Now, I didn't say that part. I didn't say this part. You did, not me, all right? That's right, one man. On the metallic TPS, I just can't help but think about how useful it'd be to just be able to rivet on the TPS tiles and grind the heads flat. I guess. Oh, wait. Chat, hold on. You gotta listen to it again. Starbase Live. What is it? Ninja. Kawasaki Ninja. All day. It's gotta be. Vespa? Get out of here. That sounded like a ninja to me. I don't know. Could be wrong. All right. So this is coming from Langley Research Center. The front, stunning. The back, gorgeous. Yamaha? What do you think? R6? It may have been a Yamaha. You're right. That wasn't a Honda. That's not what Honda's bikes sound like. R1? Yeah, could be an R1. You rode a Kawasaki for 12 years. Yeah. I've been flying helicopters for like 37 years. Honda sound like a Honda. Yeah, yes, you're right. Harley Shovelhead. That was not a Harley. You pillock. There was no way. There's no way that was a Harley. You are out of your mind. You are out of your. Sounds like a Tesla. Man! Definitely not a Honda, not a Kawasaki. It has to be a Yamaha. Yeah, I knew that wasn't a Honda. That somebody's riding around a Yamaha. Yeah, I'd say Yamaha. I'd say you guys are right. Two-stroke Lambo. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave. I have stuff to do. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. No. 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 No, I don't want to. All right. The front, stunning. The back, gorgeous. The side. Did you like that side view? Well, you shouldn't, because that's my side view. The aerospace that will be done here, amazing star emoji. Check out all the angles of Langley's new Flight Dynamics Research Facility, or FDRF. The first NASA wind tunnel built in more than 40 years. The FDRF is opening this Friday, July 31st. Wow, that sucks. Or does it blow? Huh. New wind tunnel? New wind tunnel. Interesting. Cool. Just flip the switch. Yeah, that's right. I saw that movie that one time. Cool. All right. Flight Dynamics Research Facility. Let's go. So this is a vertical. It's a vertical wind tunnel, interestingly enough. So it goes up and over. Right? The test cell is right here. This is for testing ascent. This is for testing rocket ascent and possibly hypersonics. But rocket ascent trajectories, actually, no, the cell is up here. Scratch that. It's right there. But it's a vertical wind tunnel. Very interesting. Here. If we want a good shot of a wind tunnel, you can always look at the ones at Ames that are used for aerodynamic research. If we go down here to Moffett Field, this is NASA Ames. They have wind tunnels, and they have big wind tunnels. See that? A wind tunnel just usually goes in circles, and then it sucks a lot. Right? And in this wind tunnel, the test cell is right here. Right? So, and then there's nozzle vanes in here. No, just cooling vanes that give you circulation, right? Actually, I'm pretty sure this goes this. No, it probably goes out. I don't want it. It doesn't matter. So this is one that's kind of on its side compared to the FDRF, which is still cool. There's more wind tunnels over here. I'm pretty sure that one's the arc jet. I forget. I don't remember. But these facilities are pretty large, to say the least. As you can see, it sucks. And it cuts. Well, if you're ever wondering where NASA's C-141 is just chilling, there it is. It looks like that hasn't moved in God knows how long. I'm sure that's good for it. You know. Anyway, this one seems to be vertical. So this one goes up and over and down, up and over and down, or this way. It depends on if it's sucking or if it's blowing. Looks Russian somehow. Pitch is too high. Night No Day, I talked about it. I'm not showing it. You're never seeing it. At least not on this stream. I'm not doing that. Okay. Let's see. Let's go over to see what's going on in the UK. Jodrell Bank, home of the UK's largest telescope, is facing closure after losing government funding. Okay, that's cool. We saw what's going on in Europe. Let's never go back there again. 'Tis a silly place. All right, next bit of news. That's great. Peterbilt. On second thought, let's not look into the UK. 'Tis a silly place. The UK's largest telescope for studying space is now set to close after the government pulled its funding. Like we're any bet, Aqualex, with all due respect, and I mean this with all due respect, we ain't like them, okay? Quiet. We're not doing crap like this. I mean, there was Arecibo, but that was one time, all right? Anyway, we could just blame Tessa. It's okay. It's fine. It sounds like you guys need to throw some tea in the harbor. I know for you guys, that would be a waste, but also it works, okay? It works. You can sit here and be like, well, I'm going to do that. No, it works, okay? Now it sounds like throw Coke or Pepsi in? No. I mean, yeah, you probably do that. Hey, Galax, what's up? That sucks. Supporting science is cool. We should do that more. We're doing that. We're fixing that, you know. But, you know. International Space Station. So, the Expedition 74 crew with NASA astronaut Chris Williams and Roscosmos cosmonauts Sergei Kutskrechkov and Sergei Mikhaev undocked from the ISS inside of the MS-28 spacecraft at 3:03 a.m. today. That was yesterday. They did make it down. They were replaced by the MS-29 mission, who is Peter Dubrov, Anna Kikna, and Neil Menon. Took me a second. At least they could turn it back on. We ain't doing that. Construction. We can rebuild it. We can rebuild it anytime we want to. In fact, we should, but why do that whole scientific discovery thing? That doesn't make any money. Yeah, whatever. At least you got the moon program. That's pretty cool. I will, you know what? I'm going to use this to remind everybody about the time how I've been very vocally active about making sure that NASA retains its funding, because anybody that says the commercial market can do it for cheaper is de facto doublespeak for defunding NASA. You can't turn your nose up at me, fool. Even if you tried. No, I got the track record to prove it. Remember, Jake, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Just saying. De facto doublespeak. Should put it on a t-shirt. Mustard Goon, 3-month resub. Let's roll. All right, so. Yep, there we go. Welcome back to Earth. Chris Williams, Chris, Sergey, and Sergey, only spelt with an I, not with a Y, landed 3 hours later. 6:27 a.m. Eastern Time, 3:27 p.m. local time, after living in space for 8 months. More. Cool. That's good that Chris is back down. Chris has been up there for a little while. 8 months. Okay, so Mm, 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 mm. We just reorganize some stuff here. Just got to reorganize some links.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
So, Flight 13 took off on Friday, and there was some good, there was some bad, there was more good than bad. I'd say. SpaceX did release some really, really nice high-def footage of launch. I'm gonna go ahead and say headphone users should probably turn this down if you value your eardrums. See, me, I'm gonna turn it all the way up. And it is piping my stream's audio, or this computer's audio, into the stream. Hey, Simple One, 75-month resub. Irosa EVA set for August 6th. With Jessica Meyer and Anil Menon. Cool. So, what's good? Hey, Matt. Wait, did it? Chris. I don't know, Jeff, has it? I must have missed that. Red card. Chris, get your fingers out. Get your fingers out. How many people are on the field? Oh, no. I saw him go over there. They're putting a sub in. Beautiful reporting as ever. Oh. That's awesome. Dude, that is
Discovery.
How this drone didn't get obliterated during liftoff? I don't know. But also, oh my word. Oh, that is sick. So, 3LRD, what's up, man? You're my go-to for space news. Keep up the good work. Right on, man. Here, they posted more. We're just gonna watch them. We're just gonna. Wow! Bird. Dude, can I just say this shot right there? Look at this picture. Look at the contrast because the sun's going down. Look at the contrast you're getting on the clouds. Dude, that picture looks like ethereal. It's unbelievable. The impingement on the deck is crazy, right, dude? That is something else, man. Bruh. Well, this is slowed down. Yeah. Yes. Weather guy is correct. This is slowed down footage. It gets off the pad way faster than this. What's the cause of it being yellow? Saturated steam, dude. Bruh. Yeah, this, there's shooting steam in there, but it basically turns this color when it's absorbed. The steam is at, well, not critical mass. It's not going nuclear, but. Hey Nathan, what's up, dude? $5 super chat. Thanks, man. And Jake Rock with a $5 super chat. Sea level raptors. Yeah. Probably dust. I think that's just some swamp gas reflecting off of Venus. No, that was a terrible explanation. It's the flames. So what you're getting is you're getting the flames being cooled down combined with saturated steam, which is mostly clear. So there's still some of the gas coming out here, and that's mixing with the saturated steam, and that's of course mixing with just the vapor clouds. That's why you're getting that yellow shape, because it's cooled off the exhaust just a little bit. If you had one word to say about this launch, you know what, Chris? It wasn't the launch that got me. The launch was cool. That was awesome. That's so cool. So look, you guys, this thing is so loud, you can see the sound reverberating through the vapor clouds. You could see the sound waves. See that? Like, they're visible. That's what gets me about Starship. You get that to an extent with Falcon. You know, we've seen it with SLS, but nothing like that. You can see the sound waves reverberating off of the ground, which is, and then you can see as the vehicle goes higher, it goes from reverberating off the ground to reverberating downward towards the ground. See that? That's insane. There's just, it's ridiculous, man. Let me rephrase it then. One word for the mission: landing. So this is awesome. We got some crazy visuals. Just from ascent here. Come on. I can't stop looking at it, dude. I'm just staring at it. Huh? Whoa. What happened? Sorry. I'm not even trying to play this up. I totally lost my train of thought from this picture. So what was mesmerizing me here is watching the, so this is ice coming off of the booster. The ice, instead of, notice how there's no ice past the engine. See this? What's going on is there's low pressure between the nozzles, between the nozzle exit and the bottom of the booster where all the engines are bolted together. And all of this gas being accelerated basically pulls a vacuum. It pulls a vacuum in the bottom part of the booster there. And notice how there's just no ice right here at all. There's nothing. Because all of it is getting sucked in between the Raptor 3s. And it's interacting with the plume. See how there's little bits of, ice getting sucked in and getting shot into the plume? That's wild, dude. I never noticed that. Look at that. Drew, what's up? New theory: water got into into the GSE from previous work or a contaminated fuel delivery, and then pumped into the booster for static fire where it floated on top. When they drained, water got into the plumbing. It's possible. Look at the sound waves on the service tower. You could, yeah. That's the ship quick disconnect, the SQD, which, dude. Look at the clouds pulsating. What is this thing? What is it? This is ridiculous. So, it got all the way up to staging, right? And SpaceX posted this view, which is this is my second favorite from the entire mission. Because watch this, dudes. Oh. Come on! Come on! That's ridiculous, man. So this is the shot of the booster, right? So the ship is in front of the booster when it's going up. The booster separates and then it flips backwards. This is the booster flipping backwards and watching the ship keep going. When are the ships coming to the Cape? Soon. Soon. How hot will it be in the yellow area of the flame? Pretty dang hot, Orange. I don't have an exact temperature for you. I wouldn't want to be there. Kerbal Guy, you're saying if they use a different fuel oxidizer mixture in the center engines, do you think they use a different fuel oxidizer mixture in the center engines to get that yellow-orange? Is that just interaction with surrounding plumes? It's interaction. It's plume interaction. Plume impingement is what it's called. This looks like a render. I know, right? There's also, if we go a little bit further, the moon is right there. It absolutely belongs to mission control. Yep, yep. See the moon over there? Soon. Yep. Why is the moon so small? It's okay. How do we explain this? So this is a wide angle lens. This is a fisheye lens. You can tell by looking at super heavy. All right. Second part of that is that, dude, the moon is not as big as you think it. Like it's not as big as it looks in the sky. It's a lot further away. It would be a lot smaller when you're up in space. The reason why is, have you ever noticed that the moon changes size? Seriously, when it comes up over the horizon, you don't notice that it's bigger? That's because of the atmosphere. The atmosphere is distorting the lens, so to speak. It's called gas refraction, right? So when you're up in space, there's nothing between you and the moon, so it's its actual size. But when we're down here on the planet, you notice how the moon changes color. There's a blue moon, there's a red moon, right? It's, yeah, atmospheric lensing is what it's called, right? Are they still following the ship in the water, or is she gone? They're still following it as far as I know, 12. Yeah, Clyde, they do. So, yeah, when you're up there, I mean, keep in mind, this is a fisheye, so it's going to be a little bit smaller than what you want because the way a fisheye lens works, but yeah, that's what it looks like. It's a little ways away. Yeah, a little bit of perspective. So, yeah, a little bit SG, but not. Yeah, just a little bit. But here, the real kicker came at the end of this mission, which I still cannot believe just happened. It blows my mind. Not only did Ship 40 just belt through re-entry like it was nobody's business, right? Made it down. It did its heading alignment. Not that far. And watch this. Let's just back it up just a little bit.
As we...
So... Here, let's just go a little bit further. Here we go. So, Ship 40 lit 3 engines. They got 3 good lights. Rear flaps retract, forward flaps open. Ship flips over to a nose-up attitude here. And it comes down for a nice hover. Now, in the past, guys, in the past, most starships have gotten to this point. And then they fall over and they blow up. The reason why they fall over and blow up is because something with the header tank lines. So Starship has fuel tanks up in the nose for balance when to do what you just saw, to flip itself over, right? Usually when it flips over, those tanks rupture because they're at the very top, right? And think about it like this. If this ship was a diving board and you jumped from here and did a belly flop, it would hurt. If you jumped from up here and did a belly flop, it would hurt a lot. You'd probably need to go to the hospital, right? So, because this is falling from a lot higher, right? It usually blows up the front of the ship. But Ship 40, for whatever reason, splashed down and is in one piece. The fire that you see here is from the header tanks, which were intact, venting. They're venting down from flight pressure. It just found the flashpoint of something and caught on fire. Lucky wave. Stay, stay, stay. Don't catch on fire. I may have yelled at this thing like it was a dog. So, yeah, that reaction got posted on the internet, which is, that's great. Here's past EJ. Yeah. All right.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
What happened to Ship 40 after? I'm getting to it, dude.
Into the Indian Ocean, down to 1.
Don't explode! Don't explode! Don't explode!
And we're in the water. And it's a soft splashdown in the water.
No! Stay!
That is the first...
Stay!
The softest splashdown we have ever had with the Starship there in the Indian Ocean.
It's bound to be an exciting day for our recovery team. I mean, that...
Dude, ditch it out! Bring it back!
Soft splashdown, much less have the vehicle...
Into the Indian Ocean, down to 1.
So that got posted to the internet. Not that it, yeah, the mic left the chat because I may have yelled a lot of expletives. It's probably better that it didn't pick it up. Just like normal. I have a compressor on the microphone. If the mic gets blown out, most likely for me, a clip will confuse so many pets. Yeah. The reaction was priceless. Well, apparently people liked it, dudes, because check this out. This is a post by Radio Galaxy. I've seen Radio around. I like that guy. Radio, thank you for posting this, because it has 3,000 likes and 158,000 views. Yeah. Yeah. Man, that guy's kind of nuts. No, dude, it landed. It's in one piece. But if we go back over here and you look, SpaceX got some really, really beautiful pictures of the thermal protection system. Would have been nice if you linked the channel. It's all good, dude. It's all good. People got it. Dude. So, see, Nathan and Kate, they're just like, wait, what? So the drone operators from the recovery teams got some really, 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 really great pictures up close of an intact thermal protection system. It's usually when they end the stream, what do we do now? Right? Yeah. Dude. And guys, I said it a lot during the Flight 13 stream, you know, the stream actual that we did on Friday, but I will tell you this. Ship's okay. Now check this out. The ship landed so soft that the onboard avionics and all the cameras were still intact. What you just saw was that camera on the flap, but it was underwater. You know, my mind goes back to the plankton meme. I don't know. I never thought I would get this far. Dude, they had... That thing's intact. Like, I think it may have had a couple of cracks because of it, because, you know, it fell over into the water. But, they had all cameras intact. The thing landed in one piece. It's like a dog that caught the trick and now they wonder what to do. It's like, yeah, I don't really know what to do. I vote you turn off the compressor for the Starship streams. I'll think about it. I think about it. That camera survived space. Water is just peanut. Yeah, right? Right? Dude, even Dan's like, what? Dude, because Dan's looking at that. Look, guys, okay. So there is some scoring marks on the heat shield here. There is. And there are some tiles that are no good. But I would say this heat shield's probably like 90 to 95% good to go. She is good to go. Like provided this thing didn't land in salt water, right? You could reuse this heat shield, no problem. These marks are from SpaceX's, they call it crunch wrap. It's a gap filler. So it's a silica fibrous blanket. And what it does, so SpaceX's tiles have a mechanical adhesion point, right? And then they have clips that they put in to hold the thing in place, right? See the three points? You can see them on some of the tiles. There's 3 points on the front. When they put this on, right, they put it on with a blanket behind it, a fire blanket, and the fire blanket fills the gap between it and another tile, right? So if we're looking at the tile from the side and you have a little bit of excess gap filler, like kind of up and going up and over, that's what those streaks are. It's just, it's a little bit of the gap filler ablating off. But if you look at the parts of the ship that have splashed down, you can see the gap filler is perfect. It's perfect. All of this was just ablating small bits of gap filler that were just a little bit too long because when the hypersonic flow went over, it ablated it. No problem. That's easy. Right? That's no big deal. Not easy. That's nothing. That is fine. That'll happen every time. You guys, you'll see. Starships that get caught in the future will have this. It'll have that. And then they'll re-enter it again and it'll be gone. It'll look like this. Because once the plasma kind of ablates it off and it's not there, you can reuse this. And you can also see the attachment clips right there too. Right? Guys, that ship's, dude, if they could have fished out ship 40, like right after it landed, You could, dare I say, fly it again. With the exception of the cracks. I don't know if it tipping over broke it, but it may have. But also at the same time, guys, that TPS is good to go. You could reuse this. I can say that knowing what I know about hypersonics. Yeah, you could reuse that. It would need some refurbishment, but you could reuse that. Now those engines that have that Raptor that has salt water getting splashed all over it, probably not. Now that isn't to say that this, like I said, 95% good to go. Welcome to Tile Talk with EJ. Give her an old pressure washing reflyer. Yeah. Dude, it's crazy because the power heads on the Raptor centers are still primed. They're still icy. Now, look, that isn't to say that there wasn't some bad stuff. They did get burned through just a little bit, but there was some burn through. That's why I said the heat shield's 95% good to go. You could probably re-enter this again. It would probably be okay. But, see the rust? That's no good. This is where a tile failed. A tile failed and it burned through and started heating up the stainless. When stainless steel ablates through re-entry, when it gets burned off, it leaves rust. So there's not a lot. That's just the sunlight shining. That's the morning sun, but there still is some right there. There's just a little bit. There are some broken tiles. 1, 2, 3. But those tiles in this scenario, if this ship came back, these, replace them. Just pop that one off, pop the clips out, put a new one in. These ones, no burn through. It just ablated a piece of the tile off just a little bit. It's probably because it was just a smidge crooked. That's all. There's also a couple of failed ones. There's a failed one there. There's a failed one there. But guys, this is refurb. That's no big deal. That's just downtime. The ship, you could pop these new things on there while the ship was getting new payload and call it a day. All right. There is some other areas of burn through. Like, see that? Something burned through upstream that way. See the rust? That's no good. That's why the drone operator zoomed in on this. Most of this is just the silica backing gap filler blading off, and that's totally okay. But there's some right there. There's some right there. There's some right there. As far as I can tell, guys, there's no real rhyme or reason or pattern to where the tiles failed. It just seems kind of random. It's not symmetrical on either side either, okay? So that tells me that's just random tile placement. That's installation. Because if it was ablating on both sides, if you were getting burned through or you're getting failed tiles in the same spot on either side, that would mean the ship is flexing. It's flexing on you. Yeah, boom, right? And tiles are going to de-shim themselves and get out of alignment where the ship is flexing through re-entry. But I didn't see any of that. It seems random. And if it's random, that's just the installation, guys. That's just the person that put those tiles on. But don't worry, they got the vast majority of these tiles were perfect. You see that? That's not great. This isn't great. This isn't great right here. See, but these are not burned through. It did not burn through the backing plate. You could tell because there would be rust if they burned all the way through like there is over there. See over there, there's a little bit. Most of this is just the gap filler ablating off. What I like to tell people is that re-entry is like taking a belt sander to this, right? And if you just took a belt sander and went back and forth on it, you would obviously plane off anything that wasn't completely flat. Plasma basically does that to tiles, more or less. I won't get into specifics too much, but that's more or less what it does. This is just gap filler that just burned off. Like you pressure wash this thing or you just hit it with a hose. Actually, I wouldn't hit it with a hose. These tiles don't like water. But if you sent this again, it would have bladed all this off. The tiles would look like this. Let's see, there's another failure right there. Like I said, it all seems very random, which tells me that it's not some dynamics with the vehicle. It's just the tiles. There also was 2 tiles missing on the aft flap cover. on one side, but not the other. And the rim around the engine section, which is where you're getting hypersonic flow separation. Those tiles did not do very well. And the belly of the ship over here, so to speak, did get a little bit damaged. But guys, for the most part, this is very... For something of this size, that stainless steel, right, to come through and not break. You had burn through in a spot, and it doesn't care. It doesn't really give a frick. Didn't Elon say this was an aggressive re-entry too? All of these entries are very aggressive, Moist, because it's a suborbital trajectory. Guys, when stuff deorbits, it doesn't deorbit to a negative perigee. You deorbit to lower the perigee enough where you can maximize aerobraking time. If a let me put it to you like this. If a space shuttle flew this re-entry, you would never get it back. I am 100% sure of this. At the decision point right before you go orbital with the shuttle, the abort contingency isn't to re-enter. The abort contingency is to get to space, to abort to orbit, or do a once around. If the shuttle flew something like this, you'd never get it back. If a capsule flew something like this, you'd have a hard time. It's not great. But yeah, ship 40 came down and it was in one piece, dudes. One piece. That thing is mint. It's like if they, with minimal saltwater intrusion, like if they went and they could pick it up right from this point in time on Friday, dude, you could have refurbished this. This could have flown again. I would not fly it now. But I'm not going to say that they're ever going to fly Ship 40 again. What I am going to say is that Ship 40 is still floating out there and SpaceX's recovery vessel is still near it. It's it's a good ways away from its splashdown point, guys, but it is there and it is still floating. There's been no vessels going in or out. Nothing is going near it as far as we can tell. However, I mean, SpaceX said they don't want to recover this, or at least that's what we heard. Oh my goodness. I think we're in the that'll buff out territory. I agree. Yeah, to be fair, the tiles didn't like hot staging, Ari. We know that from the booster set footage. It's missing some. Why haven't they called a gun run in on it yet? Guys, I have a gut feeling. I have a gut feeling they want it back. Dude, it's... honestly, it's too juicy. I'll speak in Kerbal terms. They got a good amount of science. Let's say they got 1,000 science points from this mission. If you went and you fished that out and you brought it back to Boca Chica, we're talking 10,000 science points. It's not every day that something comes back from space that freaking big. There's nothing that has come back from space this big since the space shuttle intact. This thing is worth its weight in any single precious metal you can think of. All combined. Gold, platinum, silver, copper, bronze, whatever. All of it combined is how much this thing is worth.
Discovery,
not just for the sheer material cost, but the fact that you have an intact thermal protection system. You have 6 intact engines that have been to space. These Raptors were 95% of the way to orbit. You might as well, that's good enough. You're not, physics doesn't know much of the difference in that last aggregate 5%, except orbit versus not, right? This is too juicy to not even at least consider. Like, it's too juicy to, you have to, they want to get it. I have a very I have a feeling, okay? Call it a gut feeling. I know. Look, the flip side of this is that that's going to be really difficult to do. I would still say it's worth it. But I think Go Australis is hanging out there around ship 40 because it's waiting on towing rig equipment to come from another ship. Because, okay, how are you going to get this thing home? You got to tow it. How are you going to tow it? Well, you need towing equipment. You can't just, it's not like it has a mooring point. I mean, there's the catch pin, right? But here's the thing, dudes. You do not want to risk screwing up the thermal protection system, right? If you tie a rope around the catch pins, the rope's going to hit the flaps. It's going to scrape up against the tiles, and you lose scientific data that way. So if SpaceX was actually serious about going and getting this, and I think they are, like, there's no reason for the recovery ship to just be sitting out there, just doing nothing. It's not sailing in one particular direction. It's just kind of sitting there near this thing, right? Put floating bags underneath it. Dude, something. Yeah, but they don't have any of that stuff with them, right? It's going to take a second for them to, A, figure out how they're going to try and get this thing home, and B, get whatever they decide to do out there. But I have a feeling they're going to go for it. The reason why is because that's what I would do. This is what I would do. That thing is invaluable. It is. I cannot stress this enough. Even now, even Ship 41, which is the next Starship, which is slated to fly in like 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, I know. Slated to fly. Don't know if it's going to, right? Even that, dudes, this is still worth it. Every ship that you can get back to optimize your thermal protection system is useful. Any engine that you can get back to optimize, thermal protection on engines coming through reentry and stuff, invaluable. Like that is, you can't pay for this type of testing, So program the flaps to swim at home. A semi-submersible would be my answer, Aqualex. I'd get a semi-submersible out there. Yes, that's exactly what I would do. Could the aft skirt clamps hold the areas be strong enough to attach to something? Head game, that's what I would do. I wouldn't pull it by the payload bay. I wouldn't pull it by the catch pins. I would pull it by the engine section because the payload bay looks like it's taking on water from these shots because it's kind of nose down that way. And I did have one of my buddies tell me that it was leaking a little bit. So I wouldn't want to pull it by this for fear of ripping the front off. I'd pull it from the back. But even then, you're still running the risk of ripping it up, Swim home like this. Yeah. I would get a semi-submersible dock out there and some water wings. Dude, look at that. It is cherry under there. I mean, some of the aft skirt here on Starship's a little messed up. Probably from landing, if I had to guess. But, dude, because they had a connection, right? And because the computers didn't blow up on Starship, right? They could vent down the tanks. They could passivate the vehicle, which is a big deal because you don't want to go near a fueled rocket that's just floating on the high seas. It could blow up, right? As we've seen, right? Yeah, see, there's some tiles down there. That's not great. And there is some ablation marks. But yeah, you see what I mean? There's no rhyme or reason to where the tiles have failed, that's a good sign. That just means tile installation or a QC problem with your tiles. If they did recover Ship 40, how long would it take to get the ship back to Starbase? Probably a month. Probably more. Can they put a trolling motor on it? Yeah. Yeah, semi-submersible would be the right move, dudes. But Ship 40 Ship 40 is still floating as far as we can tell, guys. It's floating. What's the dry mass? Over 100 tons. I mean, guys, Starship's huge. It's freaking gigantic. I'm trying to figure out how we can convey scale here, but see last from Space Engineer. Oh. TSE, you in here, buddy? Oh, okay. All right, no. Foz, you linked one from Space Engineer. Space Engineer's around from time to time. I like that dude a lot. He's really cool. Cool dude. So Space Engineer is saying this was this afternoon. 200 kilometers traveled. Now, over 66 hours since touchdown, Australia's still trailing Starship at a distance of about a click. No other outbound vessels at this current time. We have any updates from TSE from after that? That was the last one. Yeah, Ryan found it. So check this out. My buddies over at NSF. They used a Umbra space satellite to get a picture of Ship 40 and Go Australia. So this was this afternoon as well. Or this morning, excuse me. We know it's floating. You could, I mean, hard to extrapolate from this picture, but something is floating. Let me put it that way. And Australia's just near it. Just say it's bigger than the shuttle. It's about as big as the orange tank, Texas. Seth, what's up, dude? What is Seth Bride over there on YouTube? What is the plan for static firing ships at the Cape? Don't know yet, dude. Don't have an answer. So it's still out there. It's gonna take probably a month or I said a month a second ago. I'm gonna say 2 months at the very best. It's not if they do somehow get it and somehow get it to come back. Somehow, you are on the exact opposite side of the world. Ships do not go as fast as rockets. It's going to take a little while to get home. Ruin, you can't wait for the recovery photo to get posted to the public. What are you telling me here? No. No. You ball bag. You can't do this to me. What the heck, man? You just dangle that in front of us? You suck. Love you, but you suck. I don't know, Orbits. I don't know nothing about that. What about towing it to an Australian port and bringing You'll Thank Me Later? Can You'll Thank Me Later cross the ocean like that? I mean, I suppose with a tow it could. Would you expect SpaceX to take Ship 40 back to Australia to get the data? It might be better to bring it to Australia and then just inspect it there, but I would want it back. I would want it back in the US for there's other reasons, but yeah. Something to be noted is that your recovery team has been out there for 5 weeks on a 4-week mission. They're going for it. They're gonna do it, dudes. They're gonna try to get that thing. It's gonna be tough, man. Like, I know I was like screaming after the landing. I know I was screaming like, go get it, go get it, go get it. And like, don't get me wrong. I was saying that knowing full well how difficult that actually is. If the thing is taking on too much water, it could rip in half. Right? Obviously, the fuel and oxidizer tanks, if they're sealed up and they stay sealed, that's fine. They'll be okay. But also at the same time, like if the payload bay is taking on water, the whole front of the ship could rip off. It's possible. But dude, if they're actually gonna, dude, if they actually man up and go get the damn thing, oh my goodness, that would be impressive, dude. That would be impressive. Milge, what was your last? I think if they recover it, they cut it up in Australia and fly everything needed to the U.S. Maybe. When are they going for a full orbit? Well, what about all the COPVs? If they had, so David, if they had avionics, right? They could just vent them. You could just vent them. You could vent all the COPVs. You could bring them down to ambient. If they had a connection to the ship for at least 24 hours after landing, you can safe everything. And that's what I mean. Safing the ship makes it so much easier. The fact that the computers didn't blow up right away. Give me 1 second. What about a dry dock? Well, a semi-submersible would do it. If they went and got the Blue Marlin, they could do it. And SpaceX has the cash to do it, which is crazy. But here, check this out. I found it. This is what he said after basically Friday night. Unless we discover problems after mission data review, SpaceX will attempt to catch the ship with the tower on the next flight. Yeah, Big Red, yeah. The Blue Marlin, it's a semi-submersible dry dock ship. It's a ship that can sink itself, Chris, and get under something that's floating, and then they pump the tanks out, and it's a dry dock. It's half dry dock, half ship. So, here's the thing, dudes. Elon said that the next one will be a ship catch, which means the next Starship mission, and this is, keep in mind, this is Ship 41, Booster 21. Right? Ship 41, Booster 21, that tentatively is scheduled for the 2nd or 3rd week of August, so that's 2 to 3 weeks away, will be an orbital attempt and a ship catch. The reason why is because the ship completed all flight test objectives and then some. Ship 40 came down in one piece. She's good to go. Can you move the ship with the Beluga? I don't think we're getting how big this thing actually is. Let me just look at the size of a Beluga here. So Starship weighs over 100 tons, so that's not going to work. Fuselage external diameter is 7.3 meters. Starship's 9 meters. Yeah, no, not even close. Starship's like twice the size of this thing. Its length is 56 meters. The Beluga's 56 meters. Starship, the Starship itself is 100. What is it? 50 meters tall. It's about the same length. Maybe a little bit shorter. So if you guys want to, here, check this out. Blue Marlin ship boat thing. So that's the Blue Marlin. Okay. I showed a picture of it at the beginning of the stream today. The Blue Marlin is a semi-submersible dry dock. So the ship can sink itself. It can sink itself basically up to where it says Blue Marlin, and it gets underneath stuff like oil rigs or converted oil rigs that are used for tracking things, right? And then it can pick it up out of the water. Yeah, somebody built that on the Minecraft server. I know Blue has a sister. Now, here's the thing, fellas. Blue Marlin's not near it. But it has a sister ship, the Black Marlin. If asked, would you ever join SpaceX as a consultant? Yes, absolutely. I can't see Reddit anymore, dude, because they require a login, and I refuse to use Reddit out of principle. Guys, the Black Marlin is in Melbourne, Australia. That's all I'm saying. Do I know if SpaceX has called them or something? No. The Black Marlin can move Starship easily. It could move Starship and Super Heavy. Yeah, the deck area. Let's see. Length 217 meters. Yeah, you could almost move the entire Starship stack, like Super Heavy and Starship, in line with this thing. SpaceX needs to send them a blank check immediately. Well, it's funny you mention that, dude, because look, I know that SpaceX's stock isn't doing the best right now, but you guys know from the IPO, SpaceX banked like $80 billion in cash. Billion. SpaceX. That IPO gave them $80 billion in cash on IPO day. That's $80 billion of liquidity. They could, dude, you could recover that Starship for less than $1 billion. Sure. Why not? $80 billion, dude. Yeah, blank check? Yeah, they could send him a blank check. That's fine. Easy peasy. And that's what you'd need to recover it before the sea takes it, because the sea will take it. You know what? You know how I know? Because it's in blue water, and it's not a ship. It's a spaceship. Not like it's not an aircraft carrier, right? The sea will eventually batter that thing into submission, and it will sink. So time is of the essence here. The sea will eat it. The ocean will have its way. Ask any sailor here that watches this stream. You will not win. If the ocean wants you, there's not much you can do about it. Believe me, I live near the ocean. I've seen it get mad. And that's nothing compared to what happens in deep water. I know that, but yeah. See, this is a good word for this. This is a shipping ships. Where is Blue Marlin right now? I don't know. I have no idea. Your last two. What's up, Deadbringer? The Blue Marlin, Black Marlin, Boca Vanguard, and Mighty Servant 1, 2, and 3 are all booked full for a long time. Costco Shipping has availability, but is a Chinese company, so that's not going to happen. The USNS Montford Point might not be large enough. The Montford Point. Hey, Sonny or Chris, what's up, man? The fact that the Black Marlin is showing in transit on the vessel tracking website is interesting. Mm-hmm. The Montfort Point. What do we got? Oh, there's no... Maybe. ARDM-5 should be able to handle it. I didn't even know we had stuff like this. I mean... Expeditionary transfer docks. Oh, yeah. How many of these do we have? 8. Starship versus the Sea Monster. Hey, Man's on Mars. What's up, dude? $2 super chat. Thank you. The super chat's going off in the YouTube today. Thanks, guys. The ARDM-5. It's an auxiliary floating dry dock. Yeah. It's in San Diego. That's going to take a long time to get out there, dude. I'm wondering if the 7th Fleet has any of these lying around, John. I bet you they got there. I bet you we have one forward deployed. Damn, dude. That's a huge vessel. Holy crap. I didn't even know we had these. It's my boat. All right. Huh. I'm sure you heard, but I just saw that yeah, that's the other thing that's the other thing, guys. The last other bit of news here. So also, Deadbringer, regarding the ships being booked, money talks. Money talks. SpaceX could get a slot in on those ships if they paid enough. Yeah. What are they going to say? No? They're going to say no. You get a blank check, baby. Money talks. The Blue Marlin towed the coal, yeah. The USS America LHA-6 is based in Japan. I'm not sure an amphibious assault carrier is going to do anything. If SpaceX goes and asks them what's your running rate, and they say it's $1 billion, but we're all booked up. Okay, $2 billion. That's fine. And I know what people are going to say. They're not going to pay $2 billion to go recover their... Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Oh, they will. She's designed for forward operating. Well, if we couldn't get dock-wise, John, I would say let's... Yeah, what's your second message? They have a big enough wallet that might be able to buy someone else's slot. Oh, that would happen. That's what I'd be doing. John, if I was Elon, I'd get the CTO or the CFO on the line and be like, "Yo, you better start calling people, dude. You better start calling people now." The issue is the vessel that it would take a week. Plus, it must move from Melbourne to Exmouth. I know. Yeah, that's the thing. You're gonna need something quick. The ship, guys. I don't think the ship would Okay, this is just personally my opinion. I don't think the ship will last another week. It's not a boat. It floats just by chance, guys. All it's going to take is one good wave to hit it and rupture the tanks, and that's the end of that. Pronounced Exmouth. Oh. Yeah, okay, got it. You say it like we do. Why am I not surprised? The Black Marlin is in Australia. That's right. So you think SpaceX really wants it? I would want it. I would want it because it's worth its weight in gold, Ivan. Dude, that is very valuable data. There is another thing. There is another thing, Ivan. I don't want anybody else getting it. Or if I was SpaceX, I wouldn't want anyone else getting it. That's all I'm saying. I wouldn't want anybody else getting it. Elon knows somebody who lives at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue who might be able to help. Honestly, that's who I would be calling if I couldn't get anybody. If I couldn't get any maritime shippers to go and get the thing, I'd basically call the Navy. I'd be like, "Yo, I need this back. It's a matter of national security." And the Navy would be like, "All right, let's go. Let's do this, man. Spaceship? Let's go get a spaceship. We love this. Let's go." You know, like. Like, let's do this. So, yeah, you want to sit there and you want to make sure that you don't Boca Vanguard is still in the East Asian Sea right now. She would never make it. What do you mean? What do you mean she would never make it? Yeah, you want to go in the water? You want to go in the water? Navy's like, yeah, yeah. Come on, if you went to Hung Kao and said, "Hey, you want to go get this starship?" What is he gonna say? No? He'd be like, yeah, we're doing that. So, dudes, just quick side note. The guy that's the Secretary of the Navy is a guy by the name of Hung Kao. He is, if you look up badass in the dictionary, his name shows up. Yeah. He's another Johnny Kim type. Let me put it that way. Yeah. He's not the kind of guy to be like, "No, we're not going to do it." He's going to be like, "Yeah, let's go get it. Let's do this, bro. Let's do this." You know, like. Or they'll ask him to bomb it, in which case they'd be like, yeah, we could do that too, you know. You'd be like, yeah, we'd go do that. Recover it, bomb it, whatever. We got this, you know, like. Be like, "You want us to blow it up? Oh, recover it. Yeah, we could do that too. Yeah, we'll do that. But, you sure? We got lots of bombs." No, we want it intact. Right. If you want to recover, just tell the Marines it's full of booze. I mean, dude, it would be in San Diego tomorrow if that was the case. His name is literally Hung. Yeah, Hung Kao. His family escaped from Vietnam in 1975. Yeah. Not a high point in U.S. history. Yeah, he's cool, dude. He's the Secretary of the Navy. He's a cool dude. Go look. Yeah, like once again, guy should be an astronaut. Go look up his resume. You'll be like, "Oh, that's why you're the Secretary of the Navy." All right, I got it. Recover. You sure you don't want a bomb? You sure? I mean, we could do that. No. We want to recover it. All right, we can do that too. I mean, dude, it CAO is how you spell his last name, Dan. Yeah, if the Navy got involved, I'm pretty sure we could get this thing. They could get it home. They could get it home pretty fast. I didn't even know that those recovery ship thingamajiggers. This thing. Where's the Glen out of right now? I mean, dude, it's just a ship with the. It's just a ship that's just missing the center part. I mean, I'm not mad. It's cool. Yeah, pretty much, C-Mac. Yeah, he's a cool dude. I mean, like I said, if Elon went to him, he'd be like, yeah, I can go get that. Or bomb it, whatever. That's not a semi-submersible. Yeah. The Glenn's in California. John Glenn. It's more than Oakland. And it has LCAC Pez dispensers. That's kind of cool. Maybe Diego Garcia has something. Maybe. Question regarding about 41. If they abort the catch, do they aim for the Gulf? Somebody replied ULAHQ. No. Yeah, soft splashdown in the Gulf would probably be where it's going. Where's Jacqueline? Where's Jacqueline? I don't think it could fit on Jacqueline, but shippity ship. So the point is that there's stuff out there. There's stuff out there that could get it. You could get ship 40. They can get it back. I really hope they do. That would be super, super, super cool. Because, yeah. And also, I just want to be very clear. That's probably the last time you're going to see this. Right? Guys, ship 40 basically showed me that they can pinpoint land these things as good as a super heavy. Well, not right now, but you get what I'm trying to say if you know the program. There's no doubt in my mind that this thing can come down close enough and be able to hone in on the chopsticks and probably get it. If not, a soft splashdown next to the pad in the Gulf probably would work. Yeah, you could get away with that, and that you absolutely could tow back. I'm sorry, but take this with a grain of salt. You're hearing Boca Vanguard will take Starship. Take that with a truckload of salt. Baron, Boca Vanguard is a big ship. That's good enough. Where is the Boca Vanguard right now? You guys want to see a weird looking ship? That's the Boca Vanguard. It's in Southeast Asia. It's just getting it. Getting it there would suck. Vessel Finder. What do we got? Where is she operating out of right now? The Boca Vanguard's in Malaysia right now. That's really not far. So Boca Vanguard's right there. Guys, Starship is like right here. It's somewhere over here. I don't know which one it is. Wait. Oh, no, it's not Christmas Island. That's way too far north. It's down here somewhere. Santa? You posted currently where it is. I mean, I don't know how much that helps me, but all right. Point is that Starship's down here somewhere. Vanguard is not that far away. Book of Vanguard was on its way to drop anchor in Singapore outer port limits. Interesting. The Vanguard could move it. It could move it. That could easily do it. The whole ship sinks, basically up to the red line, guys. Yeah, the whole ship can submerge itself. Yeah. Think about that for a second. Think about how ridiculous that actually is. Where are the engines? In the part of the ship that sinks? It's a pretty cool design. I do believe on our Minecraft survival server, we had one of these and it had an Iowa-class battleship moored on it. Yeah, we built a shipyard in Minecraft survival one time, and then a city to go with it, and then an airport to go with that too. It was pretty rad. Got to build some cradles and fly them in. You just need a post like that. Just a couple of posts. Easy peasy. Go Australias. Oh, dude, that's not far, man. It's right there. It's right up there. Can we technically attach it to Boeing's roof? Huh? What? How long would it take for that? How long would it take for that to get to Starship? The Vanguard? A couple of days. Probably 2 to 3 days. It can do 14 knots. That's pretty fast for what it is. Celia. Oh, look, it's got finished diesel motors in it. Very nice. Very nice diesel motors powering ship. Now it has to go get it. Do you think the recovery ship would have divers on board to document the underside components? Well, if you have the submersible, if you have this thing, you don't need to worry about that. The one thing is securing Starship down, guys. You're going to have to come up with some pretty big ratchet straps to put this thing on the ship and get it to, you know, stay there. Fin maxing. That's right. There's a high pressure system over the Australis, so they have a few good days of good weather. Still good to go. That would, dude, if they get the Vanguard, if they get the Boca Vanguard to get it and they fish that thing out, that is like, that's going to be on, oh, that's good, dude. That's going to be like, they're going to make a movie out of that, dude. Oh, boy. It's called A Welder. Yeah, okay. If it goes through the Molucca Strait, it'll be about 48 hours. Yeah, Doc John, that's what I was thinking. 2 to 3 days. Can it be claimed as salvage? No, it cannot. In fact, if another country gets near this and takes it, it's stealing, and it's a... Yeah. Space flight stuff is beholden to country of origin, no questions asked. So that whole legitimate salvage, cowboy, that whole bull crap, that doesn't fly. That's called stealing. Alright? They got a word for it. They've been using it for a while, and only pieces of crap do it. Let me ask you this. If the ship is still floating and they're still pacing it, is there any skepticism that they're not going to get it? Wouldn't they have sunk it by now? They would have sunk it by now, geek. Actually, one of my buddies just said that it was a 4-week recovery mission. They've been out there for 5. Sea Last, what's up? You think a full orbit mission is close? Next mission. I don't think they have stuff on Australia's to secure it, no. But if the country doesn't care about stealing, then that's going to be an issue. Yeah, but whose house? I really hope, dude, I really hope they get it. It's not in this good a condition anymore, guys. It's going to get battered by the sea. Like, I know this doesn't look like much, but watch what even a small wave does. Watch the vacuum raptor. See that? The constant splashing will eventually break stuff. Because it's stupid salt. They're going to recover it? I have a hunch, Nader. I have a hunch that they are. And, yeah. I had a hunch, and then some people, but yeah, I think they're gonna try, dude. I hate myself for suggesting AI use, but could we ask Grok to give us a list of all the ships in the area? I'm not using AI to do that. We could just go do a good old quality Google search. Yes, that's correct, Rarest. Yeah, Alex, if somebody steals it, then Hung will be mad. This is technically a boat. It's technically a boat right now. And it's of U.S. origin. Don't touch the boats. We know how that story ends. Hey, Telstar, 5 pounds. Just hopped on to say hi. Come on, SpaceX, bring that ship home. We want to see it on a stand somewhere. That's right. Don't touch the boats. Dude, I can't believe that thing. I can't believe that thing survived. I mean, dude, look at that thing. It's in great condition. I mean, it's probably not in good condition now. I mean, it might be better. I mean, but the sea's gonna mess this thing up. That's what the ocean does. It messes things up, but yeah, dudes. So, little bit side note on Starship news. Ship 41 is getting engines, by the way. That's the next Starship to fly. Ship 41 and Booster 21. They're getting engines. They've both passed cryo. Ship 41 needs to do a static fire test, and then Booster 21 needs to do a static fire test on the pad. But as far as I can tell, the pad's good to go. Wait, is the Starship still in the water? It is one shot. And SpaceX's recovery ship is floating with it. And we know from past missions that starships that landed and got damaged, they would have sank by now. So the ship's still out there. Australia's is still out there, dude. It's still out there. What is it doing? Don't know. But I have a gut feeling that they're going to go get it. Or at least try. What was that? Ducati, maybe? I think it would be pretty neat if SpaceX had a live stream from 40 and it's still transmitting. It was transmitting basically over the weekend, Nors. I'm pretty sure the batteries ran out. Hey, Rudy. Hope EJ's stream is going well. Can't say much. Crew is good, and don't worry about anybody else trying to touch the ship. They're being shadowed by U.S. assets in the area that got dispatched from Diego Garcia. Yeah, I had a feeling that's what was going on, dude. Brother, fish it out. Fish that fucker out, man. It's going to be so cool. It's going to be so cool. It's going to be so good, man. Yeah. I had a feeling we were doing something like that. It's a boat now. Don't touch the boats. That's right. If Starship batteries don't last a week, how will they power HLS? I mean, they may have just shut off the transmitter, Mars. And it might just have not a rudimentary, but an incomplete battery system. HLS could be a different design. Don't touch our ships, boat, type, or space. Yep. Hey, Raiden, what's up, dude? So, yeah, guys, I think, we got no official word, right? But I have a gut feeling they're going to get this thing. I have a gut feeling they're going to get it. At least part of it. The HLS has solar panels. That's true. It does. We'll see. Why is the Navy shadowing them? Forge, they don't want anybody going near that. Ship 40's still out there, dude. She's still out there. She's floating around. It landed intact, man. It didn't blow up. Could they hook up an umbilical to power the ship? Telstar, the problem is the umbilical to charge the batteries is facing downward into salt water. If they got it up on a semi-submersible dry dock and got, the umbilical out of salt water, yeah, maybe. Brendan, what's up? See last again. Why am I not seeing your tags here? Yeah, SpaceX had a live stream of 40, just chilling. Brandon, I don't see your last. Your pings never show up for me. All right, there we go. If we find out they're fishing it out by Friday's flame trench, it's gonna fly. Yeah, Friday's flame trench is gonna be crazy if we get word. Drunar, you got called out on NSF chat for repeating what EJ said on stream about recovery plans. Called out by who? Wait, how is it alive till now? We don't know. I don't know. I thought this thing would have sank. But, dude, Ship Forge, did you see it? Ship 40 landed. It landed and it just fell over. They usually freaking blow up. Watch. Watch. The thing usually just blows up. Look. Splash. It didn't explode. New SpaceX tweet. I swear, what is this? Oh, they posted new pictures. Dude. Oh! What the frick? What the frick? Bro! Let's go! Rudy, oh, that's awesome, dude. That's, oh, I'm a little jelly. Just reached max Q. We reached maximum dynamic pressure in my pants. What? Dude. Holy frick balls. That picture is awesome. That's during the deorbit burn. There's a lot of tiles coming off there. Whatever, it's fine. Ugh. Dude, this freaking picture. Absolute space cinema. That is so cool, dude. This looks like an album cover. This is the new single from Focusonic Retro Propulsion. No, this is the new album from the Eric Johnson Musician Administration. Focusonic Retro Propulsion. Like, it looks like a freaking album cover. Where's the parental advisory? Think those were the Starlinks rather than the tiles? That's a good point, Nathan. You're probably right, dude. Yeah, you're probably right. I'm probably wrong. Great new picture by Starlink. Good one. Did you just make a joke, Milge? Good one. Hang this in the Louvre. Yep. Don't let your children see this. They'll grow up to be astronauts. Yeah. We don't want. No. No. I tell you what. You can get a good look at a booster by sticking your head up Elon's butt. But no. You'd rather take his word for it. No. It's got to be your ship. No. You can get a good look at a Starlink by sticking your head up Starship's butt. No. It's got to be your ship. I don't know what I'm doing, man. My head's about to explode. Wait, what? Rudy, will I be down there for 14? Love to meet you if possible. I have some coworkers that would love that too. Top of the chine looks spicy. Nah, it's all right. It'll be fine. I mean, Rudy, do I have a choice? I might. We'll see, dude. We'll see. I am going to be in Michigan on the tentative launch date for this. So we'll see what happens. If it goes 4th week of August, we'll see. But I can't miss going to the in-laws. We'll see how it pans out, though. I could just get on I-75 and go south. We could, I'll find Brownsville eventually. Why would someone want their kid to be an astronaut? They could be a doctor, or when they could be a doctor or a Navy SEAL. Yeah. Yeah. What's the state of the stream fund? Oh, I have the cash to do it, Orange. Don't you worry about that. That's not the problem here. Problem is time. We'll see. Got to have a meetup if you come down. I would love to go and hang out with you guys, dude. I would say we can go to Hopper House, and it's on me, but also, please don't kill my wallet, you know? Please don't kill my wallet. You need to be here for 14. Yeah, you're right. We'll see. You know, a lot of people go to college for 7 years. Yeah, I know. They're called doctors. We'll see, Hangman. We'll see. That's pretty good, goalie. You were just at Hopper House. I love Hopper House. Hopper House is great. They got a pretty mean stout in there. As always, family first. Take care of your lady and in-laws. Yeah, I know, bro. I know, but yeah, dude. If it goes, so fellas, I'm gonna be out this day and be gone here. During these days, I'll probably do space news, right? If Starship goes this week, we'll see. We'll see. I'll tell NSF, you know, I'll go down there and we'll go. If it's this week, that's going to be tough. If it's this week, oh. Yeah, I'm going to bet probably over here, the 24th through the 28th or the 31st through the 4th. I would bet that that's probably the next time we're going to go. Yeah, you heard that go by too, huh? Would you come to the next NSF UK meetup? I missed the last one. I would love to meet the crew. If they do it again, Telstar, I'll think about it, yeah. Is it really possible that they could do Flight 14 in only 2 weeks? Yes. I really hope they don't, though. I would love to, dude. I'm not gonna miss the ship catch. Yeah, I really we can't miss the ship catch. It's a lot of time away from the stream, vacation and that, but we can't miss. I can't miss the ship catch, dude. I missed the first booster catch. I watched it with you guys, but also maybe that might be what we have to end up doing. We'll see. Wow, the airplane noise today. That's Starbase Live, dude. NSF meetup. Who organizes that? I don't know. But yeah, Rudy, Ron, if we go down there, dude, we'll go. We'll hang out. Absolutely. I'd love to hang out with you guys. You don't even need to talk about rockets, dude. Let's just chill. Just chill. Well, I'll bring a cold 6, man. It'll be great. Are we gonna need more? We're gonna need more, aren't we? Go to the burn image. Are those Starlinks with the arrays deployed? Yes. I said they were tiles coming off. They're not tiles coming off. Those are the Starlinks. Zelios, no you didn't. No you didn't. Yeah you did. Bro, that is album cover tier. It's fantastic. That's so good. You know, Zelios, you know what we got to do? We got to take it and we got to just put SpaceX's logo on it instead of mine. Put SpaceX's logo here and like say critical path or something, and then we post that. Dude, it's an album cover. How is that not? That picture is so good. Oh, jeez. What's crazy is that you can see all of you could see Brownsville down there, and you could definitely see South Padre Island. That's SPI right there. That long strip is SPI. There's the Brownsville channel. That's the LNG terminal right there. The launch pad is right here. There's the Rio Grande. Starbase is, you can barely see it, but it's right there. What do you think of Qantas's Project Sunrise? Currently, the test aircraft is flying a 23-hour circumnavigation from Melbourne to Toulouse over Canada. Wow. Zelia, this is sick, dude. That's so funny, man. I love it. Brendan, could they support it on the deck of a recovery ship by the docking points on 40's back? Maybe. Yeah, actually, yeah, you could probably get away with that, dude. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, Chris W's in the trenches over there on the YouTube chat. Dude, what a mission. And guys, you know what's crazy about this? The Starship program is only this is only the beginning. We're not even at like STS-1 if we're comparing it to the space shuttle program. Like it's only going to get crazier. Ship catches, booster catches, reusable payloads. Guys, once again, I said this a little earlier on the stream too, and I want to reiterate it. Not a lot of people caught this. They said on the stream that Starship will move 60 Starlink V3s in one shot. Now, if 20 Starlink V3s are anything to go off of, we know that from the critical path video that the 20 dumplinks that they launched on Flight 12 were about 37 tons. I'm going to assume they were mass simulated to be as heavy as a regular Starlink V3 satellite, right? If 20 Starlink V3 satellites are 37 tons, that means 60 of them is 112 tons, which means Starship V3 can move more than 100 tons to orbit and in one shot and come back down. Think about that for a second. Noodle on it. That's no joke, dude. A 100 tons. So, okay, a little bit of perspective. The space shuttle could move 25 tons. And that was partially reusable. You lost the external tank. This thing can do 100. It can do 100. It can do what SpaceX says it can do, which is nuts. That is bananas to me. And guys, another thing just to consider. Even if SpaceX froze the design right here, which we know they're not. They'll eventually move to V4, etc., etc. If they froze the design like this, provided they could get everything figured out, 40 tons fully reusable is no joke. That's no joke. That's still light years ahead of anything else flying by a long shot. Correct. Dan said the dumplinks are the same size and weight as Starlinks. What do you think about that early boostback shutdown and no FAA investigation? Adrian, as long as the booster came down in the cordoned off area, the FAA mishap investigations are about landing, not in the designated landing areas. Despite that booster being off target, it still landed within the NOTMAR, which is fine. FAA mishap investigations are about public endangerment. So Turks and Caicos, what happened on Flight 7 and Flight 8, that's mishap investigation. That's a colossal screw up, right? The booster coming back down and landing in the notice to marine traffic and landing in basically in the flight corridor, even though it's not where SpaceX wanted, that's fine. That does not warrant a mishap. So that speaks volumes to when the next flight will probably happen. It's going to be sooner rather than later. Guys, I just want to put this into perspective. I was theorizing late August for Flight 14. Late August, maybe into September for Flight 14. Dudes, that's orbital in no less or no more than 4 weeks. Orbital Starship. Ship catch. How many tons is Falcon 9 in expendable mode, Alo? 23,500 kilos, so almost 24 tons. That's bananas, man. That's absolutely crazy. Do you think V4 will be as big of a jump? Yes. SpaceX has also said that one V3 is the same capacity as 20 V2 Starlinks. So if Starship can launch 60 V3, that's equal to 60 Falcon 9 Starlink launches. Crazy. How many hours between launch and catch do you think we'll be looking at? My guess would be about 6 to 12 hours, depending on the orbit, John. Do you expect a once or twice around? Six hours would be 3 orbits. No. Two orbits. No, 90 minutes. 90 minutes for an orbit. 4 orbits. That's what I'm expecting. That's what I would do. 4 orbits. Yeah. So launch in the morning, Martin, and catch in the afternoon. What do you got, Zelios? That's awesome. Dude, we got to post this. Oh, geez. Not EJception. Nathan, what are you doing? I saw it. I seen what you're doing over there. I saw what you're doing. Zelios, can we post this? Can we post this on the internet? Can I post this? I'll give you a cookie. Go right ahead. It's so funny, man. I think I have a lot of buddies at SpaceX that get a kick out of that. All right. Tag Elon? Nah, just post it. We just post it. My chat cooked this up. It's pretty good. There were bits in there. Hey, Goth, thank you. Wait, no, my chat cooked this up. It's pretty good. Lyrics are straight fire? Yeah. Oh, we're posting this. This is happening. Yeah, no, just say straight fire. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. It's fine. It's good. We sent it. We sent it out into the world. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, dude. Not fire, plasma. Is it out of this world? No, the lyrics are straight fire, okay? Now we need songs to go with that cover. Dude, that's gonna need like a flanger pedal is what comes to mind here. Like, hang on. Like, this needs like, hang on, let me tweak it. There we go. You need something like, it needs to have like some heavy flanger in there, right? And then you know, it has to have some fast picking, Metallica style, but we won't play Metallica. It has to be like
Oh, this is space. I'm in space.
like it needs to have something like that in it, you know? It's smart. Thanks for the tenor, dude. She did it all for the data. Come on, the data. Come on. With the new hit single, Cryo Proof. Jeez. Yeah? Yeah? Hey, your boy's getting pretty good. That's what dude, I love the telly changed my life. The telly changed your life. Dude, you can make this thing scream. Love it. Love it. Gotta get a duo with Tim. Yeah. Muse has a good song called Cryogen. Yeah, it's close enough. Hot Staging is a banger of a track. Yeah. I'd love to play with Tim, dude. Our schedules are too crazy. I'd love to, dude. I mean, I'm not the best, but... I applied to your expos with a couple ideas for song names. Oh, all right. Let me refresh. This is an awesome poster. I wonder who made it. Yeah. Totally wasn't you. It was. I love you, and thank you forever. Yeah, there we go. Boost back blues, nice. Yes! Whoever did this, hell yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Doesn't sound good with that much distortion. What's the plan for the evening? Are you going to play BF6? Yeah, I've kind of forgot that you're part of NSF. When are you graduating from NSF University to join us? Also, Thomas says, hey. Hey, bro. Me? You want me? Me? I don't know, man. Rudy, I'm kind of a dumbass. Like, I don't know if that's a good idea, but also. Mock diamonds are forever. I saw what you did there. That's pretty good. I'm too much of a spaz to put together stuff and not have it break. Look at my stupid car. Oop, screwed that up. Alright, I could play that all night. We should probably not do that. I mean, we could. We could. Anyway, tell Thomas I said hi. Tell him the Mets are terrible. I mean hi again. Beat the Yankees. All right, that's cool. That's all I'll say. Space News went off the rails. We were at the end, dude. We were at the end, so I kind of let it roll. Is that a Callahan Auto Parts shirt? Yep. Tell you what, I can get a good look at a T-bone by sticking my head up a bull's ass, but I'd rather take the butcher's word for it. And on that bombshell, I think it's time for Space News to stop, dude. I think it's time for Space News to stop. Spoiled. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. Space and Rocket Revue. That's right. Nah, Mars, I'm just having fun. We were on topic for 3 out of the 3.5 hours that Space News was. Ish. Anyway. Nathan replied to me saying, I said one of me is enough, and he's like, no, it's not enough. It's not enough. All right. So that's going to do it for the Space and Rocket review. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. On to some Battlefield After Hours. Are we ready? Are you ready? Eric Johnson in the same Battlefield rage you've seen over and over and over again. Okay, let's do it. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be right back. On Twitch, just chill. On YouTube, I'll recycle the VOD. See you in a couple minutes. Stand by for loss of signal on YouTube as expected.